Welcome to ripcaster. In this video we're going to be doing an Organik DAC upgrade to a Klimax DSM 2. Now we've covered a few of these on the channel before. There are organic upgrades now available for Klimax DS, and this is a motherboard out of a Klimax DS that we've upgraded. Klimax Exact Box, their intelligent digital crossover, and also for Klimax 350 speakers, there are DACs in both of those speakers and there are updates for those. So if you want to know about Exact Box and Klimax DS, check out our channel for other videos on those. For the Klimax 350 speaker upgrades, if you check out ripcaster.co.uk on our blog, then there's an article on there about how we upgrade those. The link for that is in the description below. But today we're going to be upgrading a Klimax DSM. It's also going to be an unboxing video because the DSM that we're going to upgrade is actually brand new. It's one of the last ones to be produced by Linn. It was delivered to us in June 2022. It's got Catalyst DAC in it currently. It's never been opened, never been played, but we're going to upgrade it immediately to the Organik DAC. So here it is. This is the unopened Klimax DSM 2. It was delivered to us, so it left Linn with that 8th of June. It's not been opened yet, and we bought this purely for the purpose of demonstration, so that if you visit Ripcaster, you'll be able to hear next generation Klimax DSM, upgraded Klimax DSM with Organik, as well as the previous generation Klimax DSM. Okay, what we'll do is open up the box and have a look what you get in a Klimax DSM 2 before we move on to do the upgrade. Open the box. The main unit itself and the accessories. So we've got the accessory box. We'll just have a quick look what we get in there. We've got a UK mains cable. We have a pair of Linn silver unbalanced interconnects. We've got a pair of XLR balanced to unbalanced adapters, safety information, and here's the actual DSM itself. So we just take the protective foam off it. Okay, so there we have our brand new Klimax DSM 2 that we are about to do the Organik upgrade to. So now that we have got the DSM out, let's have a look what we get in the Organik upgrade kit. So this is the kit. We'll just do a quick open the box. And like I say, this is serialized to match the unit that we're updating. So we've got the main board in an anti-static bag. We've got a tool for removing the clips off the XLRs. And then we've got a new set of screws for holding in the XLR connectors onto the back panel. And then we've got some serialization and Organik upgrade badges that will be put onto the base of the unit to show that it's been updated. It also requires the Hdmi 2 board to be fitted, so depending on the age of your unit, you may also need to do the Hdmi 2 upgrade for it to work with the Organik motherboard. Okay, so we've got our upgrade, we've got our unit waiting to be upgraded. The tools that we need are a wrench for removing the nuts off the back of the phono connectors on the back of the DSM, a couple of Torx screwdrivers, T8, T10, a couple of hex drivers, a 3mm and a 2.5mm, and a nut runner. Right, so I've changed the camera handle, I've put some foam, protective foam on the desk, and DSM, turn it on its back. So as you can see, there's a back panel, and we've got the exact links on this. So again, that confirms this is an in-field upgrade. The first thing we're going to do is remove the base, and we do that by removing these 8 set screws around the bottom. The only thing to be noted about this is that these 2 are shorter than the rest of these 6, so if you do separate these, just make sure that you put the shorter ones in the back. Okay, so we'll just slacken this off. Okay, so we've slackened all these off. We should now just be able to lift this off like so. Okay, so we've got the lid off, and now you can see the internals of the Klimax DSM. So if I just tilt that up. So you can see here is the main circuit board that we're going to be removing. On top is the HDMI board. This is an HDMI 2 board, so we're going to retain this. Like I said, if yours has got an older one, then you need to upgrade to HDMI 2 at the same time as you upgrade to organic. The power supply in here remains, as does the display board at the front. So the first thing that we are going to do is just slacken off the connectors along the back. The first one I'll do are these nuts on the SP diff and the unbalanced outputs. The end. Okay, so that's the outer nuts. There's also an insulator here. There's an outer and an inner, so we'll, again, these will be reused. Insulator's done. Next we're going to remove these Torx which are securing the HDMI board. The Torx screws on these XLRs. Okay, so that's all the XLRs out, so that's all unsecured. Okay, so now we've done the screws on the back. I'm going to leave these 2 XLR release pins till later. What I'm going to do is remove the HDMI board first, and what I'm going to do is take off the ribbon cables here. So I'll just ease out these 2 brown connectors, and that allows the interconnecting ribbon cable to come off. And there's one on this side, and again we'll just slide that out, so that's the ribbon cables disconnected. And then I'm going to use a Torx screwdriver just to remove these 3 screws, and it will allow us to lift off the HDMI board. Again, keep the screws on one side. Okay, so at this point the HDMI board lifts off, and we'll just put that on one side on some anti-static over here. Right, so next I'm going to remove these levers here. I've got this tool that came with the kit, and we just press in the lever, keep it depressed, and then push this in at the rear. There's a little bit of trickiness to this, as I'm demonstrating. Then push that in like so, keep pushing, and that allows the release lever to come out, and we'll do, and again, that's both of those out. Next we're going to just slacken off these 2 here. I believe we need a 2.5mm hex key for this. So this will allow the back panel to lift up. The board is fairly tight in this space, so we need to slacken this off so that we can lift the board up when we've removed it. So just leave those in there, so there's some movement. Okay, so I've slackened off the back panel. Next I'm going to remove these ribbon cables from the motherboard. Again, lift up the retaining clips, and these will lift off. So once they are, there we go, and again we put them on one side. We've removed the clips. Next we'll remove the ribbon cable to the display board. This is just an IDC, so I'll just lift that out of the way. Next, there's a power connector here onto the motherboard, which again I should be able to just lift out of the way. That's out, so we disconnect it from there. I'll just put them to one side again, so it's going to allow us to lift it. I'm going to use the nut runner to remove these standoffs for the HDMI board. Again, put them on one side to be retained. What remains is to remove these torque screws which are securing the board, 8 of which with a T10. Again, these are to be retained. Have removed everything now. The board should be loose in the case, so all I'm going to do at this point is lift this up slightly, and this should allow me to lift the board out like so. So this is our unused catalyst board in this instance. You can see there are some insulators on here. We're going to take those off and put them on the new board before we fit them. So that's the original catalyst board. It's serialized, unique to this unit. It can't be used for anything else and will be sent for recycling. Right, so we can have a quick look now at the case without the motherboard in, all clean, all ready to go. Obviously we've retained the power supply in the front display. We're just going to install the organic board in here and then reassemble everything in the reverse of the process we've been through so far. So here is the original board, the original catalyst board in this instance that we have removed from the Klimax DSM, and this is the organic board that we're going to fit in place. So the board will now slip in much more smoothly or easily. So I'm going to lift the back panel up slightly, angle the board down, and then hook. A little tight around this edge here, but it's sat in quite nicely now. So we can now tighten up this back panel over here. Just make and just put finger tight in the different components here. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the standoffs in. Again, just finger tight, just so we get everything square inside the board. There we go. Okay, so that's all that. Again, just finger tight, and then I'm just going to secure the board using the 8 screws. Again, I'm not going to put these fully home until I've got them all in. I'm just all gone in nice and easily. I'll just now tighten them up. So that is the main board in, nice and easy. We'll just put back the power connector, display adapter. This is keyed, so there's a little key on here that'll fit in there. I need to put my glasses on to do this. There we go. And just dress that so that it's nice and flush. Insulators back on the outside. Like so, and again we're now putting the RCAs on here. We'll use our wrench and just tighten those up like so. Fit the ribbon cables. We just lifted up these here. This sits in here like so. It's nice and square, and then we just press down like so. and we'll do the other one. Now we're ready to fit the HDMI board back, so again we'll just put that on the standoffs like so. We'll put the 3 screws in to hold this in. Ribbon cables. Okay, that's one done. We fitted the internal components, put the ribbon cables on, held hold the clamps, put the display cable, the power cable on, fitted the HDMI board. Everything's tight. So the only thing that's now needs to be done are all on the back panel, just securing this back panel. First thing we'll do is put the release levers back in. These just slide in like so. There we go. We get a new set of screws for the XLRs, so slightly smaller diameter I think than the previous ones that we removed. So these are the only ones that we actually replace. The 8 XLRs in. We've got our RCA locking nuts on. All we need to do now is retain the HDMI with these 5. We've secured the HDMIs, we've secured the XLRs, we've put the release levers in, we've put the insulators on the RCAs and the nuts. Everything's secure inside. All we now need to do is put the base back on the unit. Screws here, these 2 at the front are slightly shorter, so if you do get them out of sequence or pop them out, then just make sure that the shorter ones are at the back. These 2 also don't have any washer beneath them, these 6 do. They're all in finger tight. We'll now just tighten them down. So we've finished the physical side of the upgrade now. All that we now need to do is add the labels. There's a new MAC address because it's a different Ethernet port, and we put the Klimax label on to tell us it's been updated. And we also have got the Organic logo label that we're just going to put over the top of the existing catalyst logo on the back. Alright, so that's the physical side done. What I'm going to do now is we'll plug this into our network, fire up config, and we'll just have a look at what this looks like as far as the updates and the board configuration from the software point of view. Now I've connected the Klimax DSM that we've just upgraded to our network. I've fired up config on the computer here, and you can see that it's found various devices. So we've got a Klimax DSM next generation with Organic, a Klimax next generation system hub, and the unit that we've just upgraded is here. So if I select that unit, and the about page tells us everything. It's got the serial number, got the new MAC address, tells us it's got HDMI 2, and the important thing here is that it's got this PCAS 1063 board fitted, which is the Organic 2022 variant of the motherboard in the Klimax DSM. Okay, so that's it for the Organic upgrade. It's all ready to go. If you visit us at Ripcaster, you'll be able to see all the different Klimax DSMs, Klimax DSM next generation with Organic, Klimax DSM 2 that we've just upgraded with Organic, and the original Klimax DSM. I encourage you to come and visit us so that you can hear for yourself what these different DAC improvements make to your system. Hope you like the videos. Like and subscribe if you do, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.